These are the 8 most common errors that keep players stuck.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no.
And how to fix them so you can finally start climbing. In the background you will see a game between me and Rack Attack. I think this is like a Master 4 to GM4 elo, so enjoy. Whether you're a tank charging into danger, a DPS chasing kills instead of the objective, or a supporter standing in the open, chances are you're making at least one of these mistakes. But don't worry, fixing these problems is easier than you think. I'll show you exactly how to do it. Mistake number 1, overextending and getting picked off. We've all done it, charging too far ahead of your team, thinking you can pull off a play, only to get caught out of position and leave your team at a disadvantage. This is one of the fastest way to lose fights and matches in Overwatch 2. So how do you fix it? First of all, always stay within your healer's range or near natural cover. Cover is your best friend in Overwatch 2. It lets you peek, deal damage and retreat safely without taking unnecessary risks. A well-timed step behind a corner can be the difference between surviving and feeding. Second, pay attention to your team's positioning. If you notice your team is falling back, don't try to hold the front line alone. Regrouping is always better than feeding all charge to the enemy team or dying and ultimately just losing the fight. And finally, learn when to disengage. If a fight is lost, it's better to retreat, regroup and try again rather than stagger yourself and put your team at an even bigger disadvantage. A well-coordinated team is always stronger than you alone. Remember, Overwatch 2 is all about teamwork and positioning. Stick with your team, use natural cover to your advantage, and don't overextend. By making these adjustments, you'll stay alive longer and contribute more to your team's success. Staying alive means more impact, more opportunities, and more wins, so stop overextending and start climbing. Mistake number 2, poor ultimate usage. Ultimates are one of the most impactful tools in Overwatch 2, but they are often wasted or misused. Whether it's using them at the wrong time or holding onto them for too long, poor ultimate management can cost you fights and matches. So how do you fix this? First, remember that ultimates are about securing fights, not saving lost ones. If the fight is clearly over and your team is wiped, don't throw your ult in desperation, it won't turn the battle. On the flip side, don't underestimate the value of using your ultimate to secure even one critical kill. Taking out a key target like a support or high damage DPS can give your team the momentum to win the fight. Second, combine your ultimates with your teammates for maximum impact. Overwatch 3 is all about synergy, so combing ults like I think a lot of you have seen, you know, Ana and Genji is a really strong thing and can be your winning condition. Like there's a lot of matches where they just build up their ultimates, their Dragon Blade and Ana Nano Boost, and they just use that and win the fight, and they do that over and over again until they win, and it's really strong. Another key tip is to track enemy ultimates and use yours to counter theirs. Obviously, you don't want to be too reactive all the time, but if you know Sigma has Flux, save your Kirkus Protections user to cancel it or your Sun's Transcendence to heal through it. Smart ult usage can completely nullify the enemy's plans and shift the game in your favor. And here's something a lot of players overlook. The more you use your ultimate, the more you learn how to use it effectively. Don't hold back out of fear of wasting it. Practice makes perfect. The more you experiment with your ult, the better you'll understand when to use it, when to hold it, and when to get the most value out of it. So stop saving your ultimate for the perfect moment to get a quintuple kill and start using it to secure fights and learn from every play. Ultimates are a tool, use them often, use them smartly, and they'll carry you to victory. Mistake number 3, ignoring team communication. Overwatch is a team game and staying silent during critical moments can cost your team the match. If you're not calling out key information, you are leaving your teammates in the dark, and that's a recipe for disaster. So how do you fix this? Start by making simple, effective callouts. You don't need to give a play-by-play of everything happening, just focus on the key information your team needs to know. For example, Reaper flanking left, Hanzo no storm arrows, Sigma no shield. These short clear messages help your team react faster and make smarter decisions. And not comfortable using your mic? No problem. Overwatch 2 has a powerful ping system that lets you call out enemy locations, objectives, and even ultimates. A well-placed ping can be just as effective as a verbal callout, and it's perfect for players who prefer to stay quiet. Now, here's a critical tip. Avoid being toxic. Yelling at your teammates or blaming them for mistakes doesn't just hurt morale, it makes everyone play worse.
Funny downer out here, man.
I mean, you're fucking dog shit. Want me to tell you that? I'll believe that. You're dog
Okay,
shit.
so excuse you, bro. Shut your bitch ass up.
Keep your communication constructive and positive even when things aren't going your way. Like, I'm never in voice chat, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm never in voice chat because people are often toxic when you play, like, I play a lot of Moira. I'm just never in voice chat, but it works out great because, you know, I know how to play the game pretty good, so I use just pings a lot and it works. So remember, you can do that as well. But remember, good communication doesn't mean you have to talk non-stop. It's about sharing the right information at the right time. Whether you're using the mic or ping system, your input can make the difference between winning or losing. Like, how many times have haven't there been like a Reaper behind that you've known about, and then everyone dies? Like, you need to call that shit out, and then you're just like, bro, what the fuck, I knew it was behind, you know? So start speaking up, whether it's your voice or the ping system. Mistake number 4, playing too many heroes. Well, it might be tempting to try every hero in the rooster. Constantly switching between them can hold you back. Without consistent practice, it's hard to build skills and muscle memory needed to really excel. For example, I've only played Moira and it's worked great for me to rank up, so this idea that you need to play meta heroes and shit is just bullshit, you know? I would much rather recommend you just learn one hero in the beginning and then branch out from there. So how do we fix this? Focus on heroes that you generally find fun to play. Enjoyment is key. If you love playing a hero, you'll naturally spend more time practicing and improving with them.
Right, the guy who likes walking is going to walk further than the guy who likes the destination.
Think about it. If you're not excited to lock in that hero, are you really going to stick with them long enough to get good? Pick 2 to 3 heroes in your main role that you enjoy and can see yourself playing all. Whether it's Tracer, you know, Widowmaker or Baptiste, focusing on your heroes you're passionate about will keep you motivated. Make grinding for improvement less of a chore. And don't forget to choose heroes that complement your team or counter the enemy's composition. Even within your favorite heroes, you can adapt to the match's needs without stepping too far out of your comfort zone. But I would also say don't constantly try to, you know, oh, I'm gonna counter the team, because if you constantly try to switch when your hero is somewhat not suboptimal, you will not learn how to play that hero in suboptimal climates, and you will basically not train him when it gets hard, and that's actually when you should train him the most. But obviously, if you don't get any value, maybe it's time to switch. Finally, practice your chosen heroes in quick play or arcade before taking them into ranked. This is where you can experiment with different playstyles, refine your mechanics, and gain the confidence to bring them into competitive matches. Mistake number 5, not learning from your mistakes. If you keep repeating the same errors, whether it's bad positioning, missed shots, or failing to adapt, you're not just holding yourself back, you're handing the enemy team free wins. So how do we fix this? Start by watching your replays. Watch the replays feature is an invaluable tool for the improvement. Look for moments where things went wrong, where you got caught out of position, and ask yourself, what could I have done different that wouldn't get me killed? And let me just tell you, it's never your teammate's fault. Never say, oh, if I got healed here, oh, if I... No, you were obviously in a bad position and could have been in another position or made other choices to actually survive. So try to identify patterns in your losses. Are you dying too early and leaving your team in a 4v5, missing critical shots during team fights, or maybe you're not switching heroes when the enemy comp counters yours? Now, take that last one with a grain of salt. As I said, you don't always want to do this. Recognize these patterns is the first step to breaking them. And here's the key. Commit to improving one small thing each session. Don't try to fix everything at once. It's overwhelming and unrealistic. Instead, focus on one aspect of your gameplay, like staying alive longer or landing key shots. By improving incrementally, you'll see big results over time. Learning from your mistakes isn't about being perfect. It's about getting better with each game. The more you reflect on your gameplay and make adjustments, the closer you'll get to your dream rank. Overwatch 2 is a game of growth, and every mistake is an opportunity to improve. So start reviewing, start learning, and watch your skills and rank soar. Mistake number 6, tunnel vision. It's easy to get hyper-focused on one target, role, or objective and completely lose sight of what's happening around you. Whether it's chasing kills as a DPS or holding the front line while your backline is getting flanked, tunnel vision can cost you fights and games. So how do you fix this? Well, start by training your awareness. Pay attention to the kill feed, listen for audio cues like footsteps or ultimate, and glance at your team's positioning. The more you are aware, the better you can adapt to the situation. Next, prioritize high value targets and objectives. For example, instead of chasing a low health Tracer out of the fight, focus on taking down the enemy support or tank holding the front line. Always ask yourself, which will help my team the most right now? Because remember, if you kill a low HP Tracer but your whole team is dead, was it really worth getting the Tracer kill when you could instead save your whole team and, you know, the Tracer was out of the fight either way? I think you get what I'm saying, right? A lot of people get too focused and chase the Tracer, their whole team die, and they're like, what? I killed Tracer, why did you all guys die? And it's like, yeah, because our tank left the front line. You're like, what? Mistake number 7, not adapting to the enemy team. Overwatch 2 is a dynamic game, and refusing to switch hero or adjust strategies when something clearly isn't working can quickly lead to a loss. I'm not saying when you just get a bit countered, like when you're clearly not getting any value, you need to kind of switch. Sticking with a hero that's being hard countered, like playing Widowmaker Widowmaker while a Winston keeps diving you is a fast track to frustration. So how do you fix it? Well, as I said before, learn 2 to 3 heroes so you can cover a variety of playstyles. For example, if you're a DPS, maybe you play Cassidy and Widowmaker and Reaper. That could be a good combo. But you will always have an option to counter the enemy team, like if you're truly getting 0 value. Now, I'm not saying as soon as you get countered, don't switch, but if you're getting 0 value, not kind of worth to keep going. For example, if you're playing Widowmaker, right, and Genji and Winston are constantly diving you, and you're dying as soon as you go out of spawn. Is it really worth keeping to try with that Widow, or are you gonna think, oh, I'm gonna survive next one? Like, you're probably not. Adaptation isn't just about switching heroes. It's also about adjusting your position and cooldown usage. If the enemy team has a sniper like Widowmaker, take cover, shield your team, or flank to pressure her out of position. Small adjustments like these can completely disrupt the enemy's game plan. Use your downtime wisely. When you're waiting to respawn, analyze what's happening in the match. Are the specific enemies causing problems? Is your team struggling to counter a particular strategy? Think about what you can do differently to turn the battle. Mistake number 8. Neglecting cooldown management. Using abilities as soon they are off cooldowns might seem efficient, but in Overwatch 2, timing is everything. Wasting a critical ability like Orisa's Javelin without a clear plan can leave you and your team vulnerable in key moments. Now, I will say, to get good at using cooldowns, you want to use them all the time, because I can't be good at using sleep dodge if I haven't practiced shooting a sleep dart 1000 times. But if I constantly wait for said hero to do a said thing every match, I would just get out, maybe 3 sleep darts a match. Like, for example, let's say I'm waiting for Genji to dive me, but if I actually want to improve hitting my sleep darts, I should use it every time it's off cooldown. That is when I want to practice. When we actually want to use it to win, we want to think about our cooldown management. So how do we fix this? Well, start by saving your ultimates for critical moments. Think about their purpose. Are they for engaging a fight, healing for a teammate, or denying the enemy's play? For example, holding onto your cooldowns until you need to stop an enemy ult can completely shift a fight in your favor. Next, learn the cooldowns of key enemies. Knowing when the enemy diva's defense matrix or QQ Suzu is on cooldown can help you time your abilities for maximum impact. For example, holding your Ana's biotic grenade until Suzu is down ensures you get a full value from your anti-heal. And here's the big takeaway: practice patience. Sometimes holding an ability for the perfect moment is far more impactful than spamming it the second it's available. You'll not only make smarter plays, but you'll also become a more reliable teammate. Cooldown management is all about timing, awareness, and discipline. Save your abilities for when they matter the most. Learn the enemy's cooldowns and watch your fights and matches start going in your favor.